teaching, as in Torah Emet, teaching truth, the truth of creation. Emet, truth, is comprised of 3 letters, Aleph, Mem, Taf. The Aleph is the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet, the Mem the middle letter, and Taf the last, as if to say, truth must have a beginning, middle, and end. You mean what?
King of what?
This is what I wanted to tell you. This is what I learned today. I learned it in Zohar.
Lesson of the day from the Rebbe.
Zohar is what?
Zohar is the book of secret.
It means light.
It means brilliance.
Brilliance.
Okay.
It was that Yud Vav and Elohim. They're one thing. They're one thing. Why does it have 2 different names? The likar ain't moving. At first glance, it's not understood. Eichem kulu chad. How can they be the same thing? I mean, they're 2 different things. If it's the same thing, it'd have the same name. You do it now. It's known that the Yud Vav that is the source of revelation.
God is.
The name Yud Vav.
Okay.
These are names. God is not a name, right? Like you're Mark, but that's just your name. That's a name is for what's outside of you.
God is called Señor.
Whatever you call God.
It's also Señor.
Yeah, but whatever you call it, it's just a name.
It's just a name.
It's just a name.
It's a symbol of the greater.
Oh, it's like a rose is a rose is a rose is a rose.
No. That's not a symbol. Because the name actually does something. Like through the name, Yud Vav is creation. So he says, revelation, all creation came out through the name Yud Vav. In the beginning, it wasn't that there was nothing, and then there was something. That actually happened much later. At first, there was something. The something was light. The Zohar calls it Batzinu Dekar Denisa, hard light. Why was it hard? Because there wasn't any space. All there was light. No space. There wasn't any movement. There wasn't any time. Then, according to the Medrash, book of metaphor, the Creator had a desire to be known in a low place. In order to have a low place, first you have to have place. So what did the Creator do? The Creator's very smart. Creator sent a line of light into the hard light. Just at the right place. There wasn't any place yet. But God knew where to make a fissure in the hard light. And the light that had been where before the fissure became, had to move. Says that the light moved to the side. And there were 2 forms that were expressed, the line and the circle. The line was the cleavage in the hard light, and the light that moved away to the side were 2 circles. The primordial Aleph, known in Gematria, that the Aleph itself, called the Miloi, how you spell out the Aleph, is Aleph Lamed Pei, which equals 111, plus the Aleph is the 1111. There's another thing about the Aleph, that it says all of creation, the space made in the hard light, in the form of the Aleph, creation was limited to the lower part of the Aleph. The Aleph is made of a Vav and 2 Yuds, one above and one below. The Vav is the line. The 2 Yuds, the 2 dots of light above and below are the 2 Yuds. And all of creation was in the lower dot of the Yud. And that lower dot became the first of the four letters of the Yud He Vav He, which became what's called Seder Histaushut, the way that the world's chained down. First, all you have is a Yud, a dot. Everything is in the dot. And from the dot comes a line. And from the line is broken up into three lines, arranged in a Hey, the Yud and the Hey, the first name of God. Yah, the Yud is male, the Hey is female. When the Yud enters into the Hey, it elongates into a Vav, which then breaks off into another Hey. And you have the Yud He Vav He, which is the prototype for the four worlds. What are these four worlds? Well, just like in our world, we have four directions. We have four elements: earth, water, air, and fire. We have four things that we see in the world that are the inanimate, the growing, life, and the human being. Life being animal life, and the human being. Or there are four directions. So many things are broken down into four because the prototype is the name of God, Yud He Vav He, and that Yud derived from the Aleph, and the Aleph can break down into 1111. When the Yud He Vav He made its way all the way down into our physical world, it impressed itself first on the 10 Sfirot, the 10 luminaries. Now these 10 luminaries correspond to our solar system. So the solar system corresponds to the 10th Sfirot of the Yud He Vav He, and so does the earth, and so does the human being. How is this? Well, we're created in three triangles: the 10 Sfirot, the Yud He Vav He. The Yud He Vav He is the form of the human being. The head is the Yud. The shoulders, the arms, are the He. The Vav is the body. And the lower He are the hips and the legs. And how are the 10 Sfirot implicit in that? Check this out. The two hemispheres of the brain and the third eye, first triangle. The two arms and the torso, second triangle. The two legs and the sex, third triangle. How about the 10th? And the mouth is speech. Malchut, the 10th, which is all the 9, which point up, are all male and female, but 10 is woman. And where did all this universe of stars come from? They came from right here. This is the place of the big evacuation in order to make space for creation. So as it ends up, it wasn't, it's not the stars, wasn't a big bang with all this energy coming out to us, and here we are relegated to some place, on the edge of some faraway galaxy. On the contrary, man, everything came from here. This is the place of the hard light. And God knew that if you make a fissure, and that fissure funnels down into the hardest of the hard where there is physicality, and if all that light that is packed together, that is embroidered together without any space, were to break, it would break into infinite stars that would move at an infinite pace, leaving a line of light. And embedded in that line of light would be 6,000 years of history for the human being on planet Earth to interpret. And the light moved out until God, Creator, said, "Die," as explains in the Talmud, a book of law. And die means enough. You went enough, as it says in the Medrash, that God played with the world for 2,000 years before creation. And this was it, going out, so God said, "Die." Right there, that's enough. Because of this, according to the Talmud, God is called Shaddai. And the gematria of Shaddai is 314, the first three numbers of pi. And that's why scientists find pi everywhere in creation. The combination of the 10 Sefirot and the four-letter name of God, comprising 40, is responsible for the four directions, the four elements, the four life forms, and the four dimensions of reality, 3 dimensions of space, and 1 of time.